Those who leave everything in God's hand will eventually have God's hand in everything. I repeat, those who put everything in God's hand will eventually see God's hands in everything. Have a good morning.
En este día queremos que nos regales un nuevo amanecer. Agradecemos tu bondad, tu amor y tus nuevas misericordias. Jehová, bendice a nuestra familia y amistades. Dales un buen día de prosperidad y paz. Buenos días.
A pleasant good morning to each and every one of you who are in the listening scope of my voice and can see Brenda's image as well as my image. All right? We want to thank every one of you who are bright and early, 7 o'clock, with us as we go on. We do encourage you to like, love, share this program, tag a friend as we do the morning news and, as we say, the world at 7.
Así es, señores, muy buenos días para todos ustedes. Gracias por mantener su sintonía con nosotros tempranito en la mañana, un martes lluvioso. Un martes lluvioso. Así que, señores, buenos días, especialmente a todo el que está en sintonía en la isla de San Martín a través de WTN, de TV Plus y de MSR. Todo el que está en Curazao, en Aruba y en Belice a través de TVCARIB. Todo el que está en la isla de Bonaire a través de Dutch Caribbean TV. Muy buenos días para todos ustedes. Buenos días para todo el que esté en las redes sociales compartiendo con nosotros. Gracias por estar actualizándose. Buenos días en San Martín, en Sebe, en Estesia, en Anguila, en Sembat, también en Saint Kitts, en Dominica, en Saint Vincent, en San Croix, en San Tomás, en Puerto Rico y en República Dominicana. Muy buenos días para todos ustedes. Todo el que está en España, en Venezuela, en Colombia, todo el que está en Panamá, en Holanda, en Francia, en Estados Unidos y en Canadá. Bienvenidos a su programa El Mundo a las 7. Le deseamos un día súper excepcional para cada uno de ustedes. Y todo el que está en las redes sociales, recuerden darle like, compartir, etiquetear y postear sus banderitas de donde es su nacionalidad y donde está residiendo actualmente. Así que Prince, recordándole también a todo el que esté en casita que puede comunicarse con nosotros, miren, a través de este aparatito, 554-5601, y usted puede enviar los buenos días, un saludito, un mensajito privado, Prince, que yo también lo voy a leer, y aquí estamos para servirles en este teléfono.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we do want to acknowledge every single holiday that we have, and that is yesterday we celebrated St. Kitts and Nevis Independence Day, and today I just sent a picture. I'm hoping that our director can post this picture right now. It is, of course, the celebration of Prinsjesdag. I got a picture from Dave Livingstone in a private message showing me how our former minister plenipotentiaire, our new Kamerlid in the Tweede Kamer, Jurien Wuiten. She is chic, she's dressed up and ready for Prinsjesdag. We're very proud of Miss Jurien Wuiten, and I just think that it was appropriate for us to plaster her picture on, on social media. So if we can get that picture up, it would be really good. Jurien Wuiten. And happy Prinsjesdag to each and every one of you. Look at that. Goedemorgen, Prinsjesdag. Doesn't she look chic with her shiny orange and her batik, putting a little African Caribbean flair to it? I just love it. Goedemorgen, Prinsjesdag. So for all of you who are out there, a happy Prinsjesdag to you as well.
Okay, ahí está.
Jurien Wuiten.
Jurien Wuiten. Hoy se conmemora el día
Prinsjesdag.
Ay, Prinsjesdag.
Yeah, Dach.
Dach.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Así es que felicidades para todos, felicidades para todos. ¿Quién proporcionó esta información? Dave Livingston.
Dave Livingstone.
Gracias a Dave Livingston por estar siempre con nosotros ahí proporcionando informaciones, como también nos proporcionó información de Senki, la independencia de Senki. Bueno, Ni hao. Eso es para la comunidad china.
Oh, so
Bienvenido.
to all my Chinese brothers and sisters, ni hao. All right, you have to get the pronunciation correct. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget, those of you who are watching us from the comfort of your home, and especially if you're watching us from any cable TV, WTN, first of all, and MSR Cable, Dutch Caribbean TV, and Teleplus TV, we want to say a special good morning to you. However, those of you who are watching us via social media, Facebook Live, we want to say a special good morning to you as well. Those of you who can comment, tag a friend, and of course share our broadcasting, we would love that you continue to do so. Each one, tell a friend. We used to use that in church, you know. Each one, reach one. Each one, tell a friend. And you would bring a friend to church. So maybe in those days, if I knew you, Brenda, I would have brought you to church as well. But anyway, we want to bring a friend or a colleague, anybody, come on to the morning program, The World at 7.
Así es, señor. Usted puede invitar a sus amistades etiquetándolo para que pueda también ver la programación del día de hoy. También puede etiquetar a cualquier grupo que usted esté asistiendo, nos puede compartir también, y así la programación va esparciéndose y muchas personas se van interesando, se van informando de todo lo que tenemos para ustedes en la mañana de hoy.
All right. Apparently everybody is saying you're looking gorgeous and elegant indeed. So I just want to say, you know,
Sí, pero
congratulations.
no eres tú.
No, not me. I'm okay.
Soy
with
yo.
that. I'm okay. All I want to know is that my sardines and, you know, crackers and oats is there because, whew, I'm telling you, it's raining cats and dogs.
Así es. Bueno, vamos con lo que es los titulares de las informaciones que tenemos para la mañana de hoy. Iniciaremos con 48 recuperaciones de COVID-19. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
We start out with 48 COVID-19 recoveries. This story comes from St. Martin Island Times. However, we have one casualty to report.
También tenemos un evento de concientización sobre el cáncer de próstata. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
All right, some update on prostate cancer awareness event. This story also comes from the St. Martin Island Times.
Hablemos del suicidio. Esta es una información muy importante. La prevención del suicidio. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
All right, suicide prevention. Let's talk about suicide. It is a taboo. However, it is a growing concern of us today in today's society. This story is taken from the St. Martin Island Times.
También tenemos el ministro Otri, dice que la participación del gobierno en el tripartito es importante para mejorar la atención médica. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
Minister Utley, government participation in tripartite important for improving healthcare. That is definitely the case. This story is taken from St. Martin Island Time once more.
Y el diputado independiente Christopher Manuel expresa que el rechazo del fondo fiduciario a la propuesta de vivienda se siente incompleto. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
This is big news. Emmanuel says trust fund rejection of housing proposal feels incomplete. This story comes again from the St. Martin Island Times. You were busy, Brenda.
Así es, tenemos el Consejo Económico Social presenta el informe anual 2020 a la primera ministra Silveria Jacob. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Time.
Social Economic Council presents the annual year report 2020 to Prime Minister Jacobs. This story again comes from the St. Martin Island Times. Brenda, normally I would read the 48 COVID recoveries, but because there's one more casualty, I would like if you will read this story today.
Ok, tenemos ya el desarrollo de las informaciones con 48 recuperaciones de COVID-19. Esto es fuente de St. Martin Island Times. El ministro de Salud Pública, Desarrollo Social y Trabajo, Omar Otri, extiende sus condolencias a la familia y amistades de la víctima número 60 del COVID-19 en San Martín. El ministro Otri expresa muchas fuerzas durante este tiempo sumamente fuerte. Al 20 de septiembre hubieron 26 personas que dieron positivos por COVID-19. Sin embargo, 48 personas se recuperaron, disminuyendo el total de casos activos a 152. El número total de casos confirmados es ahora de 4.117. Los servicios de prevención colectiva, con sus siglas CPS, están monitoreando a 141 personas en aislamiento domiciliario. 11 pacientes están hospitalizados en San Martin Medical Center. El número total de muertes por COVID-19 ha aumentado a 60. El número de personas recuperadas desde que surgió el primer caso en San Martín ha aumentado a 3.905. 123 personas están en cuarentena según las investigaciones de rastreos de contactos realizadas por el CPS. El equipo de salud del aeropuerto del Ministerio de Salud Pública, Desarrollo Social y Trabajo, con sus siglas BSA, en colaboración con el Laboratorio de Atención Médica de San Martín, con sus siglas HCLS, han evaluado a 3.700 viajeros que han llegado al Aeropuerto Internacional Princess Juliana, mientras que el CPS ha evaluado a 41.509 personas en toda la comunidad. A medida que los números continúen fluctuando, el CPS continuará ejecutando activamente sus medidas de rastreos de contactos. El ministro Otley insta a todos a continuar usando sus mascarillas para reducir los contactos sociales y desinfectar o lavarse las manos con frecuencia.
The Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, Omar Otley, extends his condolences to the family and friends of St. Martin's 60th COVID-19 victim who has passed away. We too here at The World at 7 do convey our condolences to the 60th COVID-19 victim on that site, St. Martin. Minister Otley wishes the family much strength during this time. As of September 20th, there were 26 persons who tested positive for COVID-19. However, 48 persons have recovered, bringing the total active cases to 152. The total number of confirmed cases is now 4,117. The collective prevention services are monitoring 141 people in home isolation. 11 patients are hospitalized at the St. Martin Medical Center. The total number of deaths due to COVID-19 has increased to 60. The number of people since recovered, the first case surfaced on St. Martin, has increased to 3,905. 123 people are in quarantine based on contact tracing investigations carried out by CPS. The Ministry of Public Health, Social Development and Labor Airport Health Team, in collaboration with Healthcare Laboratory, have tested over 3,500 travelers arriving at the Princess Juliana International Airport. I would like to say that Minister Utley urges everyone to continue and wear your mask, reduce social contact, and sanitize or wash your hands frequently.
Así es, lamentablemente hay una persona más que se agregó al listado de muertes de COVID-19. Tenemos 11 personas hospitalizadas en San Martin Medical Center. Nos unimos al dolor de la familia. Deseamos una recuperación pronto para todos los que están hospitalizados y todos los que tienen el virus que están en casita. Por favor, recuerden mantenerse en aislamiento.
Yeah. What I notice with these press releases is that every time there is a death, they tend to report the good news first. These amount have recovered. This is no time to play psychological games with press releases. Um, I think headlines should just say another casualty to COVID-19. Um, it is giving respect to the family, especially in a small knit community. Now, I'm not far-reaching. I'm not, fishing, and I'm not fishing in a pond where there is no fish. This is how it is. In a community small as this, and you put 48 recoveries, it's a sort of like a clickbait. It's a sort of like misleading. All right, even though it is true that we have the amount of recoveries, let us bear in mind that this is the family of people. However, on the flip side of it, remember, they have been asking you guys, listen, let's go and get vaccinated. So, there's a flip side to this. But let us be in right standing so that we can, move on as a community.
Sí, Prince, pero también las personas que están vacunadas no pueden descuidarse.
Oh, definitely.
No pueden descuidarse, atento a que tienen la vacuna, las 2 dosis de la vacuna. No nos podemos descuidar.
Yes, of course, those of us who have gotten the full dose of vaccine, we just can't just lay back and sit down and say, oh, we're vaccinated. Of course not. There is protocols that we must adhere to. And of course, we also are susceptible. The only difference between us is the fact that and it's not if, but when we do get COVID, we are protected in the fact that our symptoms don't become as harsh as those who would not have the vaccine. All right? Yeah. Some other news in the medical area: prostate cancer awareness event by St. Martin Island Times.
Así es, un evento de concientización sobre el cáncer de próstata. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
The Positive and Electrolytes Foundation, in collaboration with the St. Martin Medical Center, are encouraging men over age of 45 who have not had prostate-specific antigen PSA test within the last 2 years. Register now for the PSA test by sending an email to urology@smmc.sx with their name, date of birth, and phone number. Pre-registration for the prostate cancer screening is strongly encouraged to avoid long lines and to allow for proper social distancing. September is National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. This month was chosen to give special time specifically for prostate cancer, a highly common cancer in men. On September 25, 2021, the St. Martin Medical Center, along with Positive and Electrolytes, will host its second annual prostate cancer screening from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the St. Martin Medical Center in Cahill. SMMC's urologists will be on hand to do the prostate screening for the attendees. These prostate cancer screening sessions will also include blood pressure and glucose monitoring for men and women, and CPS and the Ministry of ASL will host a COVID-19 vaccination pop-up. Healthcare professionals will also be on hand to provide information and answers any question about the COVID-19 vaccine. To ensure the safety of all attendees and volunteers, SMMC's universal masking policy remains in effect and will be enforced. Persons making use of the prostate cancer screening and the health checks will also be subjected to a temperature check and SMMC's COVID-19 questionnaire. Persons who are experiencing flu-like symptoms such as fever, chills, headaches, difficulty breathing, fatigue, muscle or body aches, loss of taste or smell, sore throat, congestion or runny nose, vomiting and diarrhea, avoiding attending the event but encourage them to make an appointment. Once they are no longer experiencing symptoms, in 2020, the Foundation embraced the challenge related to the COVID-19 pandemic, pivoting the in-person screening campaigns to the Blue Faces poster campaign. The posters feature men in our community that have volunteered to be a part of our ongoing campaign to inspire, stimulate, and strengthen our call to action to help save lives on St. Martin. The Blue Faces are also warrior survivors and men who understand the importance of getting checked and staying in tune with their health as men. While prostate cancer is a huge taboo on our island, the Foundation hopes that man up and checkup slogan will appeal to the macho men in our community and start a discussion among men older than 45 years and their healthcare providers. For more information regarding prostate and breast cancer awareness event, please contact Shelly Alfonso's cell phone 580-9658. Email shelly.alfonso@outlook.com. Mercedes Electra Van der Waals Wyatt cell phone 523-7418 or electrovoltage@hotmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, check this event out. And mostly for the gentlemen, of course, because we men have prostate.
Así es, estas fundaciones tienen lo que son un evento y piden a la comunidad, especialmente a los hombres mayores de 45 años, que si no han tenido la oportunidad de hacerse cualquier examen sobre la próstata, pueden hacer sus citas a través del correo electrónico urologist@smmc.sx y ahí pone su nombre, fecha de nacimiento y número de teléfono. Se recomienda encarecidamente el registro previo para la detención del cáncer de próstata. También puede comunicarse directamente con Shelly Alfonso a los números, Prince, se me fueron los números ahora.
Okay, got it. Yeah, the numbers to call, you're talking about electrolyte or Electra and Mrs. Alfonso. Well, these numbers go like quick. All right, that's at the end. The cell phone is 580-9658. That's Shelly Alfonso.
Así es, el 580-9658 o al número de teléfono de Mercedes Electra al 523-7418. Ustedes pueden llamarla directamente y ellas le van a ayudar sobre esta situación. No duden en hacerlo, no sienta vergüenza en hacerlo, porque hay muchas cábulas sobre lo que es el examen del cáncer de próstata.
Yeah, I know.
No, contigo no, pues ya tú dijiste que todavía tú no tienes 45, pero ya te hiciste, iniciaste con lo que es el procedimiento.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, our next story, as serious as this is, suicide prevention. Let's talk about suicide by St. Martin Island Times. The mental health team, consisting of Dr. Kitty Pelsweg, psychiatrist, Tamika Lambert, psychologist, Zoya Hyman, counselor, and Danette MC Rea, occupational therapist, organized an informational discussion on the topic of suicide prevention. Brenda?
Así es, hablemos del suicidio, la prevención del suicidio. Esto es un equipo de Mental Health Foundation formado por la psiquiatra doctora Kitty Pelsweg, la psicóloga Tamika Lambert y la consejera Zoya Hyman y la terapeuta ocupacional Danette Mark-Riad. Organizaron una discusión informativa sobre el tema de la prevención del suicidio. Se sabe que el suicidio entre los jóvenes es preocupante. Los representantes durante esta discusión fueron St. Martin Academy, PSB, St. Dominic High, Charlotte Broxton Academy, Dr. G. Enterprise, Mr. Peter College y el psiquiatra de St. Martin Medical Center, Dr. Hodgerson. Participaron en la sección de Zoom. El objetivo del evento estaba orientado a compartir e intercambiar técnicas útiles y efectivas entre las partes interesadas para brindar un mejor apoyo a los jóvenes que experimentan problemas emocionales. El evento también tuvo como objetivo cerrar la brecha entre los profesionales que trabajan con jóvenes en riesgo y desarrollar formas para formar una mejor relación de trabajo con las escuelas y los proveedores de atención médica. Los objetivos discutidos fueron ideas creativas e innovadoras para difundir la conciencia sobre la salud mental entre los jóvenes, palabras y comportamientos seguros que los médicos podrían usar para ayudar a los jóvenes a sentirse seguros, al explorar desafíos y formas de alentar a los jóvenes a buscar asesoramiento y apoyo. También se discutieron formas creativas de alentar a los padres a apoyar mejor a sus hijos con los desafíos emocionales. El apoyo para los esfuerzos futuros es bienvenido. Se puede contactar con Mental Health Foundation por correo electrónico a info@mhf-sxm.com.
All right. As I said, discussion is an informal discussion on the topic of suicide prevention. It is known that suicide amongst youngsters is concerning. Representatives during these discussions were St. Martin Academy, Academic, and PSVE, St. Dominic High, Charlotte Brookson Academy, Dr. J. Enterprise, Milton Peters College, and the psychiatrist from the St. Martin Medical Center, Dr. Jurgensen, participated in the Zoom session. The goal of the event was geared towards sharing and exchanging helpful and effective techniques among stakeholders to better support youth experiencing emotional issues. The event was also geared towards bridging gap between professionals working with the risk youth and developing ways to form a better working relationship with schools and healthcare providers. The objective discussed were creative innovations, ideas to spread mental health awareness among youths, safe words and behaviors clinics could use in helping youth to feel safe in exploring challenges and ways to encourage youth to seek counseling and support. Also discussed were creative ways to encourage parents to better support their children with emotional challenges. Support for the future efforts are welcome. Contact can be made with Mental Health Foundation by email at info@mhf-sxm.com.
Así es, pero Prince, esto es un programa que estuvo dirigido solamente para la juventud.
Yeah.
Pero ¿y qué sucede con las personas dentro de la comunidad?
Well, why they say mental health is alarming, I think this was especially geared to the youth. I do think that they will be using different methods and different techniques when it comes, or different outlets when it comes to the information for adults. However, the fact that we've gotten several calls for suicides among the youth, one is already one too many. And when you see young people committing suicide, we tend to think, why would you even do something like that? Whether it's depression, whether it's something that they're going through that they think that they can't talk to their parents about, or whatever it is, it's always a pity, because when you hear it, you're like, he, she probably could have gotten over that, okay? So I think that was geared because it was an alarming, I think, 1, 2 students, and then the age are getting younger and younger, those people who are asking, or who's committing suicide or attempting to commit suicide. So I think that's why this was done, and we thank them for this initiative.
Señores, con este comentario vamos a pasar a lo que es ya nuestros comerciales, así que esperamos que usted le dé like, comparta, etiquete y postee su banderita. El que esté en casita, use nuestro teléfono de estudio 554-5601. Vamos a una pausa comercial y regresamos en breve.
Emmanuel says trust fund rejection of housing proposal feels incomplete. We will come back to this story, but before we do have to go on a commercial break, and we will be right back. The World at 7.
Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg, have some of the best meals around town for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they make it so easy for you to order. Just call in, then walk in and pick it up. What's up it? Then walk in and pick it up. Or walk in, order it, and pick it up. We also cater and host events. And don't forget karaoke every Friday night. So eat at Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg. It's a celebration in your mouth.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back on our short commercial break. We're here with you, The World at 7. My name is Herbert Martina, and I'm joined here with, of course...
Así es, señores, mi nombre es Brenda Rodríguez de Allen. Le damos la bienvenida a nuestra segunda sección del Mundo a las 7. Gracias por mantener su sintonía con nosotros.
All right, I read a headline. However, our headline for now is Minister Utley, government participation in tripartite important for improving healthcare by St. Martin Island Times, the first 2021 government. That is what we're going to read. But before that, we do go and give our people a shout out and you know, at least see who we have with us.
Así es, todo el que esté en casita, buenos días, el que no está sintonizando a esta hora de la mañana, todo el que esté en las redes sociales, que se está también actualizando con nosotros, muy buenos días, especialmente para Antonia Richardson, Yesenia Gomes, Julia Sánchez, Yesenia de la Cruz, San Martín Anunnaki, Junior Rondón, Esther Durán Casimir, Annie Rombly, Antonio Méndez, Minelva Maduro. Estas son personas que están en las redes sociales con nosotros en sintonía. También tenemos a Melania Lawrence, que está en sintonía con nosotros. Paulina Alejandro también está en sintonía con nosotros. Brian Baker, buenos días para usted, señor Brian. Antolina Fermín, muy buenos días. Rodolfo Fleming, que también se está sintonizando con nosotros. Tenemos a David Beltré, Sualiga Kane, Melania Lawrence, María Crispín, que están en sintonía con nosotros. Germania Rondón, Zain Dorit, Michael Axen, Neisha and William, Nando Arrendel. Estas son parte de las personas que están en sintonía con nosotros. Gracias por mantener su sintonía. Jonathan Raymond, Carol McKay, Antonia Mendoza también está en sintonía con nosotros. Verónica Bell, Nadine Suárez, Sylvain Joinville Dow, Glonford Lauren, Sunny Love, Hidalgisa Sánchez está en sintonía con el Mundo a las 7. Histerida Harshan, Celia Renault también está en sintonía con nosotros. Cristina Rodríguez desde Holanda, Karen Richardson también está en sintonía con el Mundo a las 7. Prince, ¿a quién tienes?
All right, we have Leroy Hodge, as you mentioned. He made a comment, in some cases, suicide many times. It's parents that have things hard because they didn't have things in place. And small-minded blames the children for these hard times, causing depression and hurt. And this could lead to youngsters wanting to commit the act of suicide. Swaliga K9 is saying, the regular crew always in the house. Brian Baker, good morning. And Antolina Fermin, muy buenos días.
Marlon Roblin también.
Yes, and we have Rudolfo Fleming saying, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Antonia Richardson también está. Good morning, blessed day to all. Buenos días a todos y postea sus banderitas.
Marlon Romley, how you doing? Bless World at 7. And he just have the acronyms. Great. Esterida Hashem is saying, so true. I think she is referring to what I said. Prince, what is the first thing one does when there is an income? We save for hard times. After doing some research yesterday, I was revealed that the 2019 we bagged $702,000 in tourism funds. It is shocking that we do not have or have had a disaster fund. Ridiculous. Get it done now. Leroy Hodge is commenting on this and says, leaders of our country is spending money on things that they feel we need more than spending money on saving our kids, which is the future of St. Martin. And I think we'll always be in this debacle. Let me just read some more. St. Martin Anunnaki says, sorry, 702 million. I was just going to say. Okay, that's even worse. St. Martin Anunnaki, that's even worse. All right. We do have some, we do have some news circulating in St. Martin, whereas the Minister of Finance is proposing a 7.5% tax on all things ordered from away. So everything online shopping. You know, when you go in, you say, oh, that shirt is for, I can get it. and you go Safe Cargo or you send it to Safe Cargo, and what happens is that when it comes, you just pay the freight fee or whatever. Now you will be taxed 7.5% on that if it goes the Minister of Finance's way. A lot of people, he's getting a lot of, how do you say, sticks and stones for it. However, let's see, I'm thinking, how else will we generate revenue? Because this government is not really fast on their feet when it comes to thinking outside of the box. I think in their, how do you say, in their defense, they've had hurricane to deal with. They've had pandemic to deal with. So, you know, thinking out of the box, it's like, oh, we have to be able to, we have to fight the Dutch and do our work. I think literally that's the problem.
Sí, desde el 2017 hacia aquí se han tenido muchos contratiempos. Tenemos el huracán Irma, tenemos la pandemia. Eso ha acumulado que muchas compañías, muchas situaciones estén en retraso. La economía ha bajado totalmente. Ha involucrado el San Martín completo en esta situación.
Yeah. So we would like to say a lot of people are, you know, criticizing this move. What I would say, let's come up with plans and suggest them through Facebook, okay? Let's come up with solid plans so that our leaders can do as if they have come up with these plans. But I'm telling you, the millennials who have backed Arian in the past, they will be affected most. Why, Brenda? Because they order a lot online, you know?
Yep.
They order a lot online. When I go away...
Pero eso es un motivo de cómo tratar de buscar una solución y disminuir un precio, el costo.
Yeah, that's how it is. And why they have this online levy is basically to stimulate, and that was the excuse used, to stimulate the Phillipsburg economy, Back Street as well as Front Street.
Yep.
You know, so would it work? I don't know. Would people... I don't know, because if it haven't worked in the past, people used to go to Puerto Rico and shop back in the days. They used to go to Miami, you know.
Yep.
If you pay a ticket to Puerto Rico, $200-300, and you go shopping and stuff, you get the experience. You save on a lot of stuff that you can get really expensive here. And what happens is that, hey, I was in Puerto Rico, so you get an experience. Yeah. So that didn't stop the economy back then. Or what did they do to stimulate their economy? Secondly, did the minister put into consideration and ask the shipping company their advice on this? Did the minister sit down actually with the Phillipsburg merchants and said, listen, this is what I'm proposing. Do you think that it would help the economy? Because they could say, oh, no, it's not going to help. We need this, we need that, you know. I think that when government is proposing something, they should look at stakeholders and have meetings so that they can come with a holistic plan. And that's just my take on this. That is going to be a big, big issue in the weeks to come. Let's see how this will pan out.
Así es. Antes de continuar con las informaciones, quiero darle los buenos días a Evelio Noesí, a Yesenia Gomes, a Augustus Thomas, que está en sintonía con El Mundo a las 7, a Georgina Báez también, que acaba de actualizarse con nosotros. Muy buenos días para todos ustedes. Prim, continuamos con informaciones.
Yeah. Before we go, you know, to the information that we have, we must read some of this, okay? Semar Anunnaki, while mentioning this reform, most ridiculous reform, they need to stop giving 10 years tax-free and charge the companies that change their name every 8 to 9 years to prevent paying taxes.
Yeah.
And Semar Anunnaki is saying 18,000 guilders plus 18,000 guilders is 36,000. And times, and he's times in it by, I want to get it properly, by 15. And he goes on. I think he's trying to say that the parliamentarians, they have money, you know, so this does not apply to them, or this wouldn't hurt them in the pocket. Swaliga K9 say, we are a tourist destination. Ecotourism is the future. Invest in wildlife, theme parks, invest in our local agriculture. Shake my head. They give 10 years tax-free exchange for personal. This is problem because it's not beneficial to the people living on St. Martin, but to themselves. Don't forget our sports too, please. You know, they're just going on and on and on. I can't afford buying a church dress for 150 or 175 in the boutique.
Wow.
All right? And we know Esther Durant Casimir, she loves her church, you know. Every time she gets a chance to put in about her church, she does it. So we're happy that she can get a church dress online for $100 for this amount of dollars. Which is a next topic. Do you know that churches do not pay taxes?
Prince, ¿cómo la iglesia van a pagar
Religious
taxes?
institutions are exempted from taxes.
Pero no creo que tengan que hacerlo.
So you
Okay.
think they should not tax churches?
No.
All right. I think they should. We probably can go in extra time about that, but I do think that churches supposed to be taxed. Maybe not as much.
Lo que las iglesias consiguen un diezmo y consiguen mucha ayuda. Pero para llegar al extremo de tener que pagar taxes, no es una institución,
Okay.
ni es una compañía.
Okay, since you want to discuss it right now. No, since you want to discuss it right now, I'll tell
No,
you
vamos
this.
a dejarlo
No,
para,
no,
vamos a dejarlo,
no.
tenemos informaciones y vamos a dejarlo para nuestro
All right.
tiempo extra. Los invitamos a ustedes,
Ajá,
oigan bien,
ajá,
desde ahora los invitamos a nuestro tiempo extra con este tema.
Okay.
¿Pueden las iglesias pagar tax?
Okay, Brenda is initiating an extra topic, and you know, should churches be exempted from taxes? Yes or no? Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for our extra time because we will be discussing this hot topic. But as she said, let us go with the other piece of news.
Así es, tenemos que el diputado independiente Christopher Manuel dice que el rechazo del fondo fiduciario a la propuesta de vivienda se siente incompleto. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
I didn't think we read this news from Utley.
Vamos, sí. Ok.
Yeah? All right, we're all over the place this morning. It was the first meeting that government took part in since the discontinued its participation in 2020. The meeting was chaired by Minister of VSR Omar Utley, welcoming representative of Social and Health Insurance, SZV, the St. Martin Medical Center, and several members of the Ministry of VSR, including the Minister of Finance, Artwell Earing, and his staff. Minister Utley emphasized on the importance of government's participation in the tripartite meetings, stating all three entities, government, SZV, and St. Martin Medical Center, share the overall objective of having qualitative, affordable, and accessible health care for the residents and visitors of St. Martin. It is my intention and responsibility as Minister of VSA to ensure that all entities continue to have effective dialogue that transpires into thoughtful action, enabling us to safeguard our healthcare system. These meetings allow us the opportunity to break the habit of being reactive and have a collective insight in an early stage on the issues that challenge us in achieving our healthcare objectives for our country. The tripartite meetings allow the three entities to collectively exchange and discuss ongoing and anticipated events that impact the sustainability of healthcare systems on St. Martin. During the recent meetings, updates were shared pertaining to the legislative changes, proposals presently circulating the regulatory government advisory routes, such as Pharmaceutical Cost Containment Program, announced earlier this year by Minister Utley. Other topics included the COVID-19 impact on local and international healthcare access and pending legislative change proposed to allow more persons to be SZV insured by increasing the SZV wage limits from gross $67,816 to $120,000 per year. During the meeting, Minister Utley was pleased to see the progress being made with the various projects, recognizing the strong connections and added value of the tripartite meeting as a tool to push change in the right direction. Way to go. Way to go. I think this is a great initiative by the minister, bringing all three entities together, which is the ministry, or should I say government, because the Minister of Finance was there, SZV, and SMMC. I love this report and hoping to see great and better news.
Así es la primera reunión entre el gobierno, San Martín Medical Center y el SB que se celebró este viernes 17, en donde el gobierno participó, ya que suspendió su participación en el 2020. La reunión fue presidida por el ministro de Salud, Omar Otri, dando la bienvenida a representantes del Seguro Social y de Salud, SB, y al Centro Médico de San Martín, y varios miembros del Ministerio de Salud, incluyendo el ministro de Finanzas, Aldward Irion, y su personal. El ministro Otri hizo hincapié en la importancia de la participación del gobierno en las reuniones tripartitas y afirmó que las tres entidades, el gobierno, SB y San Martín Medical Center, comparten el objetivo general de contar con atención médica de calidad y accesible para los residentes y visitantes de San Martín. Es mi intención y responsabilidad como ministro de Salud asegurar que todas las entidades continúen teniendo un diálogo efectivo, que se traduzca en acciones meditadas, que nos permitan salvaguardar nuestros sistemas de atención médica. Estas reuniones nos brindan la oportunidad de romper el ámbito de ser reactivos y tener una visión colectiva en una etapa temprana sobre los temas que nos desafían en el logro de nuestros objetivos de atención médica para nuestro país. Ahí, bueno, se tuvo una buena respuesta en estas reuniones de estas tres entidades, tanto el gobierno, el SB, como San Martín Medical Center.
Yeah, this is a great initiative, for sure. Okay. Emmanuel says, Trust Fund rejection of housing proposal feels incomplete. This story is taken from the St. Martin Island Times.
Así es, tenemos que el diputado Emmanuel dice que el rechazo del Fondo Fiduciario a la propuesta de vivienda se siente incompleto. Esto es fuente de San Martin Island Times.
Independent Member of Parliament Christophe Emmanuel on Monday said the statement by the St. Martin Housing Development Foundation about raising the rent of its tenants feel like there is more to the story than the foundation is saying, and questioned government's role. St. Martin Housing Development Foundation General Director Helen Solomons informed the media that the World Bank Trust Fund Steering Committee has denied SMHDF's request for a $45 million in funding. She said that the rejection is for reasons unknown. According to Solomons, the World Bank decision means that SMHDF can no longer finance and subsidize low rent rates and will not be able to construct affordable social housing for thousands of St. Martin residents on social housing waiting lists. MP Emmanuel said Solomon's statement that she doesn't know why the foundation was rejected was strange, considering the trust fund project are by consensus and only government's non-support could lead to an outright rejection of such an important project. The Minister of Romy and Housing would definitely know the reasons and inform the steering committee of the trust fund accordingly. The question is, did the government and specifically the Minister of Romy and Housing back the project proposal? And if government did not, what would the reason be for not supporting a $45 million project to fix and construct homes for people, MP Emmanuel said. Now, this is a clear press release and saying that the statement behind the director saying that she doesn't know. I find it strange, that she wouldn't know why the trust fund, the World Bank. Now, let me explain you how the World Bank works. Mm-hmm. There is so much procedures that you have to go through in order to even apply for funding. And such an amount, $45 million amount, okay?
Yeah.
You would have to fill in paperwork. Your T's needs to be crossed. Your I's needs to be dotted. Everything's supposed to be meticulously put put in place in order to request these funds? Do you think with all of those, and you would say requisitos, right? With all of those requirements that when you go and you said, okay, so do we get it? And they would tell you, no. Number one, you have to ask why you didn't get the funding. Secondly, come on, who are we trying to fool here? They will let you know why you didn't get the funding, okay? And I suspect the trust fund, according to me, the trust fund money is there to build stronger and better.
Yep.
The trust fund money is not there to, how do you say, to just, build stuff that was non-existent. Now, to build the Belvedere homes or to reinforce them and make them better, I could see where the trust fund is going to say, hey, listen, that is a good project. We support you 100% because this is the money allocated for that. But I remember in Parliament when Ms. Solomons went to Parliament and she rolled out this $45 million project, which is building houses, acquiring land and stuff.
Pero todavía, aún así, todavía hay muchas casas que no están reparadas.
That's what I'm saying. So, they go on this ambitious project to reconstruct, or not reconstruct, construct and buy land and do this and do that, while the existing houses are deplorable. They're in a deplorable state, all right? I've been there, I've seen it. It is in a deplorable state, and I'm seeing it on national TV, okay? So to request these funding to do more project, I could imagine the World Bank is saying, listen, deal with your ish first, right? And then you can come back and talk to me. How is it that you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do that, and the house that you're getting income from, you're not repairing? We're talking about the Belvedere area. But what about the 911 area? Okay, El Barrio Blanco. What about Soga? What about those houses? Are they in good condition that you can say, hey, you know what? We can raise the rent on that? Come on. How can you raise rent on a place that is in a deplorable condition? Don't get me
Oye,
started.
al ser denegado este financiamiento de 45 millones de dólares, según Salomón, la decisión del Banco Mundial significa que la SMHDF ya no puede financiar ni subsidiar tarifas de alquileres bajas, ni podrá construir viviendas sociales asequibles para miles de residentes en San Martín que están en la lista de espera de viviendas sociales.
Yeah, this is a topic that I think will get a lot of traction on social media. And of course, the St. Martin Housing Development Foundation will get a lot of slack on that, all right? They will get a lot of blows on that. And living in a deplorable houses, she wants to raise rent. Okay, Estelida Hashem, you see, I'm not lying, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we do have to go in our birthday section, so if we can get the bumper baby.
Así es, estamos en nuestra sección de cumpleañeros, felicitando a todo el que está celebrando un año más de vida y todo el que está festejando cualquier evento. Vamos a ver a quién tenemos de primero en pantallita, señor director. Y ahí tenemos a Kelimar y María José que están celebrando un año más de vida. Eso es felicidades de parte de su madre Gladys Sánchez, que está siempre en sintonía con el mundo a las 7. Así que muchas bendiciones. También tenemos a Noel Goverdan, que está cumpliendo un año más. Muchas bendiciones. También tenemos, ahí está mi hermana, mi media mitad, Francesca Rodríguez, está cumpliendo un año más. Mi amor, muchas felicidades, muchas bendiciones y larga vida para ti. También tenemos a Carlos de San Martín Tatú, que está celebrando un año más de vida. Así que muchas felicidades para todos ustedes, muchas bendiciones. Prince.
I would like to give Francesca Rodriguez a next shout out, of course. She's a Facebook friend of mine. And Francesca, I just want to take this time out to say happy birthday.
Ay.
A lot of kisses, a lot of hugs. Anyway, moving right along, Kreisberg Brown, he ran on the up list, 32 years old. Happy birthday to you. He's from Dutch Quarter. Natasha Richardson, happy birthday. Johnny Richardson, we know him as a taxi driver at the harbor. Happy birthday. Rashida Laveist in Holland. Vera Smith, Nisha, happy birthday to you. She's living in Saba, all the best. And Vanessa Solomon, happy birthday. Upclass Barbie Charles, who is Carobel Cecilia, happy birthday. Avi Rogers, happy birthday, 27 years. Maria Martin, and Maria Martin has 3 Facebook pages. Rebecca Kell Smith, wow, happy birthday. Regina Rogers and Anishka Romeo, happy birthday to all involved. And of course, I want to wish Nisha happy birthday once more, and my wonderful niece, happy birthday to you. All the best.
Así es, muchas felicidades a todos los cumpleañeros del día de hoy. Llegamos ya al final de nuestra programación, pero los invitamos a nuestro tiempo extra. El que tenga ya que partir a su área de trabajo, que tenga un feliz resto del día. Muchas bendiciones para ustedes y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes mañana tempranito a las 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join us in Extra Time. Brenda raised the topic there, and church, I think, should pay taxes because it's income.
Bye.
Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg, have some of the best meals around town for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they make it so easy for you to order. Just call in, then walk in, and pick it up. What's up it? Then walk in and pick it up. Or walk in, order it, and pick it up. We also cater and host events. And don't forget karaoke every Friday night. So eat at Shell's Kitchen on the E.C. Richardson Street, number 25 in Phillipsburg. It's a celebration in your mouth.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We're here live in the studios of TVCARIB. Brenda, I want to welcome each and every one of them here today who are saying, who are just here tuning in with us. I also want to say it's extra time and we are going to hit it hard right now. What do you say?
Así es, señores, estamos en lo que es ya nuestro tiempo extra, dándole la bienvenida a todos ustedes. El tópico de hoy: ¿pueden las iglesias hacer pagos de taxes?
¿Puedas?
O
No puedas. ¿Ah? Should they? All right?
no, yo no creo que paguen taxes las iglesias, porque es que no.
They don't, but they should.
¿Sí?
Yeah, they should.
Bueno,
All right.
ellos cobran diezmo.
And so they tax the people, so why can't they be taxed? Think on it. All right. The number to call is 554-5601. You can chime in this conversation. You can say, well, not say whatever you want, but you can contribute to our conversation. Please, let's be respectful because this is a church we're talking about. And we know black folks, they love their churches. That's for sure. They love their churches. Okay, we have some comments that I would have liked to read, even though it has gone. We have Sunila say, can't tax church. Sunila say, wrong, wrong. And then we have Leroy. The only thing is money of the church shouldn't be spent on nice cars and big houses. It should be spent helping people. In a perfect world, Leroy, in a perfect world. No estoy de acuerdo.
No estoy de acuerdo que las iglesias paguen impuestos, ya que no son negocios.
Wow, okay. Prince, tax the brand managers of the Almighty double compared to the common man. It will not. I will change my job and become a pastor. No, 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 no. Good morning, family. Blessed week. Good morning to you, Carl Westcott. Good morning. All right, so we have a couple of no, don't tax the churches. It's not a business. And yes, they should tax the churches. And even we have Semar Anunnaki saying tax them double. Brenda, this is what I'm going to say, all right? We're going to go into fun fact just now, Semar Anunnaki. You've spent so much time giving us that information, and we do appreciate it. But I just wanted to touch base on this and get this topic over and done with, all right? Tax Catholics Church creators of wars, refugees, famines for oil, gold, uranium, iridium, along many natural resources. Sunni law, that's my very point, okay? But not only the Catholic Church. We can't put the Catholic Church without putting the Pentecostal Church, the mega churches. Do you know that that these people, pastors, a lot of them, they don't work. So what they do is they collect a salary from the church. Okay?
Yep.
I'm all for that. Because if you're researching, doing the Bible, you're praying, you're counseling people, you're doing all, I am all for getting a salary from the church. But your salary needs to be taxed. Do you know why?
Of course.
Your salary needs to be taxed because it is coming from hard labor. It's not falling from the sky. And if you do believe in God and say God will provide, then practice what you preach. Okay? That's one. That's on a different level. Brenda, do you know how much churches rake in per month? Church, in my opinion, should be like this. Tithes and offering come in. Whether you put it towards the building fund, whether you put it towards the daycare fund, whether you put it towards, and you have different social programs that you have. One day, when a sister in the church have it real hard, they can say, you know what? This sister have it hard. Let's pay a school fee for this sister and her children. Let's provide groceries. Let's do these kind of things. Then I would say, wow, the church is working hard for its community. But when you see the pastor wife, coming to church with a very, very nice clothing, the pastor can come to church with nice clothing, but you can't. The pastor can send their children to the best schools that they are, and you can't. The pastors are driving better cars than you are. All right? Where is the equality there? So, in that light, I think that you should tax.
Tú sabías que esto es un tema muy complejo.
No, it's only complex and it's only difficult because we are religious people.
Yep.
We have to come out of this religious behavior and get into reality. Okay? You talking about God will provide. that is the best time to see how provision is met through the Almighty. Okay? Not leeching off of people. It is wrong, it is immoral, and it is diabolical.
Mira,
Tax them.
Prince, no te sé hablar mucho
Doesn't the
de...
pastors need SVB? Doesn't his children need SVB? What about the deacons and when they collect a salary and stuff? So they live off of the money, the tithes and offering. They buy groceries. They pay their car note, insurance, and come on. How much can you leech a people, man? I'm sorry. Okay? I am sorry. I don't need a church to speak to God. People, listen to me. Take time out and seek God yourself. Pray every day for a sincere heart, and you will see God's work. The house of the Lord is your heart. Okay, 554-5601. Hey, and this is, I used to go to church. All right? I was very, very studious in church. So
yo,
I don't have anything against churches. I just think that they should pay their fair share of taxes. Maybe not equal to a business, but they should pay their fair share of taxes.
Prince. Como te dije ahorita, no tengo mucho conocimiento sobre los pastores y las personas que tienen el mando de las iglesias aquí en San Marcos. Ahora, en Santo Domingo, yo nací y crecí. La iglesia pentecostal, mi casa y la casa del pastor. Nacida y crecida. Y salí de ese ambiente cuando tenía alrededor de 14 años. Nunca vi el pastor trabajar. Pero buena ropa.
So you see what I'm talking about? All right. We have a call coming in. A
Buenos
pleasant good
días.
morning.
Good morning, Brenda.
Buenos días, ¿cómo está?
Bien, good.
All right. Leroy, thank you for
Yeah.
chiming in on this topic. Please give us your opinion on this matter.
Okay. From my point of view, for starters, you do not need a church to know God. You understand? God wired us with a will that we can seek Him on our own. We need to pray with a sincere heart. You
Un
understand?
permiso
Live
ahí,
right
un permiso,
and
Leroy,
direct.
para que no se me pase, disculpa. La Biblia nos manda que nos reunamos.
So the Bible says, "Do not forsake the assembly of God." So according to the Bible, it is good that we assemble. We need each other. But I get the gist. Go ahead.
Right. Now, what I realize in St. Martin, especially in a lot of other countries and islands, that church is a big money laundering business. They use church to take money from people, you understand, and does not use it back as God acts put in place for them to use it. You understand?
Yeah.
When a church collect money from people, is not to buy pretty cars and nice dresses for their wives and build big houses. Is to invest back into people and into God's work. Now that same money could save lives. That same money could help a family that don't have nothing. That same money could have put roofs on top of houses for elders that cannot. You understand?
Yeah.
Where government feel the church could have fallen in place and help people in need. You understand? But instead of them using the money to help people in need or to draw people to church to save lives, they're using the money on themselves.
Yeah, which is wrong.
That's the bigger sin. that
Okay,
people
now
that
we're
think-
talking, and I realize also that we're talking two different topics because them misusing the money and them, let's say for those who are not misusing the money, should they be taxed? All right, because we can't say, oh, they're misusing the money, so we tax them. So guess what? They will still misuse the money, and then they will start and collecting more money from the poor people. Okay, so
Prince,
that's not
any,
a question. But I do
Prince,
believe
anything that have to do with collecting money should be taxed.
anything that have to
Anything
do with collecting money should be taxed.
should be taxed. They
Okay.
should be taxed.
Well, then what about the old age pension?
You cannot tax old age
But
pensioners.
if they're collecting money,
Yeah, but they already paid over 60 years of
all
taxes. They're
right.
entitled to enjoy it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I was hoping to say that because I have to be fair, Leroy. I have to bring two sides of the whole scope. I can't say anything that is getting money or should be taxed. And then when it comes to old age pension, I'm like, oh, but they have already paid their taxes, so you're taxing them on a system that you taxed them already. So I understand that.
So they shouldn't touch the old people money. As a matter of fact, they should give them even more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Because
agree.
these people work hard for years,
I agree.
years and years.
All right. Thank you so much, Leroy, for chiming in. It's always a pleasure to have you on national TV.
Okay.
At least your voice.
I'm
Right.
going to have to chime in
sir.
as well here.
Good. There you go, Brenda. Now, Brenda,
Prince, can you hear me?
I don't know, but you know,
Prince,
besides
can you hear
the
me?
nice cars and stuff, uh, Dennis, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I was trying to say I have to chime in. I was like quiet, but I said no. I have to bring perspective to the conversation. And while it is very, very true what you are saying, while it is very, very true, I have to say this. The church's mission, or a church's mission, as was stated, it is a non-profit organization like a stichting, right? A church is a stichting. And if you're going to tax the church, you have to technically tax all stichting, but that's not really the point here. The point here is their purpose, as you mentioned before, and as the guy that was on the phone properly stated, is to cover the cost of the running of the church, help in the community which you serve, because that is the purpose of a church, to serve a community, right? And depending on the organization of the church, right? Some organizations do not permit just any and everybody to be a pastor. They have to have like a master's degree in theology, which means that has to be an educated person. That means they have to be an educated person. Now, do some churches take this mission wholeheartedly and enthusiastically and serve the community? Absolutely. Do some take advantage of it for personal gain? And when I say the church, I don't mean the church. I'm talking about then the management of the church. Do some do that? Absolutely. Hello? Oh,
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but we're hearing also squeaking.
yeah, I'm hearing a squeaking here as well. Seems like some force doesn't want me to talk.
All right.
So,
You touched
okay,
something
so
just now, and it went.
it went. Oh, well. Okay,
Yeah.
so as I was trying to say, then you can't cut them all with the same cloth. Some do take advantage of it, and believe you me, I'm not doing this in defense of any church because I have had bad experience with churches. But I know those, and I know those churches that actually, there are some that actually take it seriously. There are those that just love the power that they have over the congregation. I'm just saying it flat. There are those that just love the power, but there are those that wants to do it from the heart. So, to the question itself, should they be taxed? I don't have a yes or no, but all I can say is it is a non-profit organization, a stichting, you will, but there are several stichtings on the island. Do you agree? And
Yes,
all of
and
them
they're
collect,
exempted from
all of
taxes.
them collect money. They get donations. They get all of that.
Yeah.
Put to proper
But
use.
let's put it this way: all of the organizations, and I want to correct you on that, though, not correct you, but add something to it, because then you look at it from black and white. All of the organizations, they get money from different organizations, from institutions, and all of those things, right? But the church's primary means of income is un diezmo, a 10% of people's salaries, a tithe, an offering.
Or
Okay?
just offering, yeah.
Yes, that comes from directly the people, the congregation.
Those that go there, yeah.
Exactly. So
Y
therefore,
una pregunta, Prince. En caso de que la persona no pueda dar ese diezmo, ¿qué pasaría?
well, they're
Absolutamente
thrown out
nada.
of church.
That is not true.
¿Eh?
That is not true. They're not supposed to throw anybody out of church if you can't pay, because that is not a gun to your head.
No, no,
That is something that you do.
Well, you see, now that also is debatable, Dennis, because maybe your belief is that that it is not mandatory, but there are churches that preach that a tithe is mandatory,
Which
and that
is,
God will
which
provide.
states to my, which goes to my point where I said there are some that take things to the extreme. Absolutely, which is what I'm saying, because I've seen it, I've experienced it. There are some of those that even tell you if you don't pay the tithes, how many bad things are going to happen to you. That's trying to get into your brain. That doesn't make it right.
Yeah. The church in history have been known, and I'm not excluding and saying only the Catholic Church. The church in history have been known to swindle poor people out of money that they do not have. And that is a sad thing. Swaliga K9 was calling, Cedric Ortega. I want to give him a chance. Sorry, Ortega, I cut you off, but Dennis was speaking, and we know when Dennis speaks, we all listens. Cedric Ortega, sorry for cutting you off, Cedric, but thankfully that we have a callback.
No, I thought Dennis was talking, so that was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
My point was with regards to what Leroy was saying, and you had already corrected that and it was made clear.
Yeah.
Our pensioners, having paid into a pension fund of money that was already taxed, right, is one issue. Number two, the fact that these pension funds invest these monies and make billions off of it, right?
Yeah.
It is illogical, irrational that then that little bit of money that these people saved over the years is being taxed, right? And on the other hand, we see institutions, we see a church small starts usually with a tent in the back of somebody's yard with 5 people, and then in 10 years time a lot was purchased for $40,000-$50,000. A whole building goes up that looks like it costs a great amount of money. So we talk about it as non-profit, but obviously money is being generated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Money is being generated. Now, I just take things and look at evidence. These institutions, they serve no purpose. Look, we can beat around the bush, and as long as nobody provide a countermeasure to reality, right? We always have these discussions.
Mm-hmm.
These institutions serve no purpose.
They close
from Monday. They close from Monday to Saturday, right? It open 5 o'clock Wednesday afternoon for prayer meeting or teaching. The only institution where people go 40 years learning and never get the diploma and never graduate. We convincing people, today's day and age, we convincing people, you hear people actually saying in the middle of a pandemic that all they need is their superhero. So I don't give these institutions no credit. This is an institution, tax it. Period. Okay. The money generated by these institutions, tax it. You know that the Vatican is the #1 landlord over the world, all over the world.
Yeah, they have churches.
Property on the world.
Yeah, they have
the Vatican
property
owns the property right here in St. Martin, a piece of real estate in Front Street that is worth billions. It is owned by the Vatican. Right here in South Juard, a nice piece of property is owned by the Vatican. In Simpson Bay, all these, look, on this little island, the Vatican owns more property than any local. Take those things into consideration when we're talking about these things.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for your
and sorry, you know me, scientific literacy, folks. That's what I preach it.
Okay.
Have a good day.
All right. You too, you too, you too, you too. All right. Let me just say thanks, Cedric Ortega, for chiming in. Let me just say this, though. The fact that the church served no purpose, I can't really say that is accurate, okay? I'm going to say this honestly. I do believe that they should pay taxes, but I can't honestly say the church served no purpose. And the fact that he's saying that the churches stay closed and only open on Wednesdays, no. We had, and I'm going to count it down. Sunday morning, it was church, regular church, Sunday school and church. Then we go back in the evening for evening service, Sunday, yeah. And then Monday, of course, they would have a cell group meeting or a prayer meeting. Okay, Tuesday was comforts class. Wednesday was Bible study. Thursday was choir practice. Friday was youth meeting. Saturday was whatever they decided, if the women had to meet or the men had to meet, and stuff, men's night, whatever they call it, and then back again Sunday.
Es decir, que las iglesias tienen actividades la semana completa.
Man, their light bill was light up because the instruments had to be played, the lights had to be on, and stuff, the mics and all of those things, okay?
Pero acuérdate que el diezmo es algo que dan mensual, pero cada vez que tú asistes a un servicio, tú tienes que dar una ofrenda.
Well, you don't have to, but
no es una obligación.
They would pass the offering plate around, all right? And in all fairness, on Monday nights there were no offering picked up. Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, an offering was picked up. Did we give an offering in youth meeting? I don't know. I can't remember. All right? I really can't remember. Now, I'm just saying this, okay? I went to Sunday school and I went to different activities that the church held, camps and stuff, and I can't say the church served no purpose. If you're doing it correctly, I think the church is there to serve the community when it comes to something like the pandemic. And in Station, they did it real well. The pandemic and the administering of vaccine, they went to the churches first, and the churches disseminated the information. Okay, usually the churches is the contact point. Why? Because predominantly or most people in the community goes to church. Okay, so I just wanted to God blocked your stream, Dennis Van Putten.
What was that?
He said God blocked your stream, Dennis Van Putten.
And yet he brought it back. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Dennis Van Putten, a true Democrat and a strong Sleepy Joe organization. Okay, Churches of God.
I don't really know who that is, but it sounds to me like Saint Martin Anunnaki.
Oh, who else? All right.
Of course.
Church and God is one. Tax. How? And we give these things way too much credit. Shake my head. Church, God in the 21st century, we're going back to the moon. And we're talking about talking snakes and donkeys. Shake my head. Okay?
So then one quick question. Again, not defending churches or anything, I'm defending I'm talking about the position that it is given. But okay, let's go to K9's position. Let's imagine, take all the churches away, whether they are sincere or not. Take them all away because they serve no purpose, right? Let's say take all of them away. How would the world be, you think?
Okay, that's
you think it would become better, or you would think there would be more chaos and the church is providing some sort of a balance?
I don't know. That's probably a topic that we should have in a next extra time, Dennis, if I should be moderator. Let me just read this. It's a good question, though. It's a good question statement. Let me read this from Esther Durant Casimir. Our church serves people every day. We have a different program before COVID. We had meetings mostly every day. We have so many ministries at our church where we help those in the community. Check us out. Good News Baptist Church, St. Peter's. I know for a fact that the Baptist churches here on the island, the one here in Phillipsburg, under the leadership of Pastor Nanton, they have a soup kitchen, and they do a very good work. So that's why.
Tuvimos el pastor
And
aquí
they're-
un tiempo.
Yes, that's him.
They're serving
Pero,
a community, are they not?
They are
¿Tú
serving the
sabes,
community.
¿Tú sabes de qué no hablamos? De la vestimenta para ir a poder asistir a la iglesia.
Exactly.
Eso es costoso.
That's for
Eso
sure.
es costoso.
And that's for sure. That's why I wanted to show the flip on the second side. Those who are doing it right, it's a very expensive. Do you know what it is to have a soup kitchen every single day to feed those that are in need? It's a lot. Now she's referring to the St. Peter's Baptist Church. They also are heavily involved in different ministries, okay? And those are the things that we applaud. That's what church is supposed to do. But let me tell you something, okay? The hustlers and the pimps that you guys deal with, I'm talking about the other pastors that pimp people for money and take their money and do all of that thing, giving you guys a bad rap, all right? Our Watch Care group see the need of people and help them. Thank you so much for doing that in the community as well, Esther Duran Casimir, and by extension, the Good News Baptist Church, okay? Answer a question with another question. Are you a politician by any chance? Who are we talking about?
Oh.
Okay, good. The Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints, 200 billion worldwide, with 7.6 billion people on earth. How much for each? Hey, let's calculate this. Okay, let's calculate it. Okay, let's do the calculation. So, if I have my calculation correct, I'm going to calculate. You know, you guys, I like to calculate, all right? So, with a net worth of there's 200 million. No, he's talking about billion. Okay? Divided by 1 point, no, not 1.7.
7.
Divided by 7.6, that's how much people we have on the earth. Okay? Good. So that's around $27,000. That's for each people. And we know they're not going to take it and say, okay, $27,000 for you, let's make the world a better place. No, they're going to have it in their organization. Okay? Church isn't an emotional thing.
He said it is an emotional thing, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
there.
it's an emotional thing. That's what he's saying, okay? Our pastor is Roderick Webster, and he is doing a fine job where leadership is concerned. Esther, nobody is saying not. We applaud Pastor Webster. I like him. As a matter of fact, I heard a few ceremonies that he preached, and he's down to earth. I like him. I really do, as I like Pastor Nanton as well. However, I'm saying the hustling of churches is really a pain in the butt when it comes to the religious sector. And should they pay taxes? I think that handling of money, there should be some kind of accountant or, some kind of accountanship for the money that's being transacted throughout these institutions.
As you said, if it's done right, they have to have an accountant because, like we said, they are sticking. So they have to have an accountant that's keeping these things documented. And to a question earlier, let's say the pastor is getting a salary from the church. That's a salary. Isn't the salary taxed? Because it's a salary. It's not the church. He's the worker of said organization.
All right, we're
so that's separate.
We're getting a call. A pleasant good morning.
Good morning. Since you read up my remark, I just decided to call in.
All right.
Why is it when you go to a pastor and you explain him that you have a financial problem, maybe your house rent behind, something minor, nothing to buy a car, nothing like that. Something that really, really meant for them. So he will tell
He, he would tell you, let's pray.
no, he will tell you, God say you have to give more. So they have 2 or 3 collections during that same service. And don't throw no coins because the bag will get heavy. Ah?
So that's
You
what it
understand where I'm
is.
coming from, right?
Yeah. But which church you going, yeah?
Yeah, but I wanted to know myself.
No, it's not the church that I'm going to say that.
Oh.
But I could tell you something. Do you remember Brother Shambat?
Yes, I do.
PJD2 used to bring him on every morning, 6:30, I think, something like that, or 5:30 or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people thought he was a
came
black
here.
man, but he was a white man.
I remember him coming here when I had Antonio, because you and Antonio about the same. No, Antonio younger than you. Anyhow, I don't remember if I had Antonio already. But anyhow, I remember when he came here, and he was where today is a cricket field. That's where he had his
Crusade.
presentation. Yeah, crusade. Okay, good. And the following day, the night before the following day we're going to Puerto Rico, like how you said earlier, we used to go $99 a ticket, we used to go down and shop, come back. But anyhow, we went to the crusade the night, a group of our friends. And the first thing when he came on stage, he said good night, and then he said, there are ushers walking around for your what do you call it word now?
Your offerings.
For your offering, correct. Make sure you don't throw coins, as the bag will be heavy. So, okay, boom. The pastor, I didn't put nothing. My friends put. So the following morning, when we got on the American Airlines, back in the day, American Airlines, the first class passengers always board first, and those who are economy class have to pass through first class and see everybody there sitting.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
When we walked in, I told my friend that went with me, I said, well, Susie, look who's sitting down there. And this, I'm talking about 7 o'clock in the morning now.
Yeah.
Look who's sitting down there. Isn't that Mr. Brother Shanba? Oh my God, the diamonds are so strong, they're blinding my eyes. I said, see where your money going, where you put it? No, you could have that money to shop in Puerto Rico. No, you have to give it to him. Look where your money going.
Oh,
Just like that.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And from that day on, up to this day, I'm very skeptical. I do go to church, and a matter of fact, since COVID, I was going to church online more though, and I follow church in Curacao online every Sunday. And if I do decide to physically go to church here, I go all the way down Sunday Grove by my sister-in-law church.
Okay, cool.
I actually encourage you to remain
I
skeptical.
do watch out for those type of tactics.
Yes, we should watch out for charlatans, and especially St. Martin, the Caribbean, and Africa, where people are so like blinded by religion.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this: we have been taken advantage of. Okay, I can remember that. Yes. I can remember they come here, and a lot of people they go for the celebrity and not for the word of God, because a man here who's saying and preaching the same thing that Brother Shambak, but guess what? You're going to go to Brother Shambak because he's on TV, he's on TBN, and you like his style. So a lot of people pays into the celebrity. You remember when Benny Hinn came here?
Yes, he was at the ball field at Raul Illich.
No, he was in the sports auditorium, Benny Hinn.
It was a sports auditorium?
It was a sports auditorium. I remember when he came. Why? Because when I went up, he tried to push me down when he was praying for me, and when I didn't fall, he said, "That man is anointed by the blood of God." So I guess you didn't need to be pushed down to be anointed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said,
Thank you
there
so
are
much.
scammers, and you should remain vigilant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
See you in the morning.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yes. All All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we have a lot of them who spoil it for the others, but I think we should separate this topic
No,
from
nos
those.
hubiese gustado que algún pastor hubiese llamado para que
Yeah,
nos
it would
aclare
be
algunas
nice. It would
cosas.
be nice for a pastor to bring some kind of perspective to
Yeah.
this, because we have Dennis, who is
Es pastor.
no, but he's
No, no, no,
talking
no, no,
on
no, no.
behalf of the church. But I don't think that Dennis is.
Se puede decir que es el vocero.
I don't think Dennis
No.
is a great representative because Dennis, have you given your life to Christ?
Years ago, my dad.
He's laughing.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
Yeah,
I see
he
where you're
does.
going, but
All right,
here's the
so
thing, as I
maybe he
mentioned
is
before,
a good
I
representative. So
I
for
am not
all you
trying to
Christian
be-
ladies out there, Dennis is single.
you're hearing me?
What's that?
Oh, I'm just seeing if it was working because I was saying something and it didn't seem was going to say. I was not speaking as the voice of the church or anything, but based on things that you've said and things that I have seen, I said it was necessary to bring some perspective that there
Yeah.
are those, whether it's good or bad, sincere or not, whether you believe it or not, there are those that do try and execute the goal of the quote-unquote church sincerely.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Dennis and Estelida Hashem, thank you so much. And all of you who chimed in on this conversation, but I think we should separate the two, not because a church or a pastor is abusing the system and, doing what he wants, dressing nice and not adhering to his people and just asking for money and money and money. That's why the church is supposed to be taxed.
Y muchas
I think the
diferentes.
church is supposed to be taxed because there's an influx of money going through and fro, right? And therefore should be taxed somewhat, not at the level of a business, but they should be taxed.
Tú sabes que hay muchas diferentes iglesias aquí. Y no voy a decir que se tiran, no, pero hay muchos feligreses que cuando ven a una persona de otra iglesia que no pertenecen, como que lo miran como con disgusto o quizás lo quieren menospreciar.
Yeah.
No entiendo el por qué si todos están buscando lo mismo, que es la fe en Jesucristo.
All right.
Yeah, tell St. Martin Anunnaki, look, I still have the white chocolate.
All right.
Todavía tú tienes chocolate.
Listen, Dennis, you need to eat that up.
Yo cuando termine el programa voy a buscar uno.
Oh my
No,
God.
no,
Are
no,
you
no,
gonna
no,
look
no,
for
no.
Dennis's chocolate?
Por el chocolate que tiene Denis.
I'm asking you. Huh? Okay, good. Dennis, be prepared that your chocolate.
Yo
is
los
gonna
míos
be
se acabaron hace mucho.
Oh yeah.
El mismo día.
Did you know that the financial statement of the Vatican showed 64.8 million, 55 million euros in deficit in 2020, down from 79.2 million deficit in 2019. Now, who believes in the managing director of the Almighty, the Pope? And Esther Duran-Casimir says, good question. All right, Dennis, nice seeing your face. Celia Renaud is chiming in. Okay.
Tiene chocolate, Celia,
And
por
he
cierto,
have
te
chocolate.
quiere.
So,
Sí.
great combination. And he's born again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of today's programming. We wish to see you tomorrow or to hear from you tomorrow, same time, same place, where we will be discussing the fun fact that was meant for today, tomorrow, for sure. My name is Herbert Martina. Stay sweet.
Así es, señores, mi nombre es Brenda Rodríguez de Allen y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes mañana, Dios mediante, tempranito a las 7. Los esperamos a que usted se sintonice con El Mundo a las 7. Así que tengan feliz resto del día y que la pasen súper bien.